Now, farmers in KwaZulu-Natal, Mpumalanga, Limpopo, as well as the Eastern Cape, are currently battling with outbreaks of foot and mouth disease in their livestock. They've said that bearing the costs on their own is becoming more and more difficult. Let's speak now to Dr. Frikkie Maria, who's of the Red Meat Producers Organizations. Dr. Maria, thank you so much for the time. Let's just talk about how the situation actually stands right now and what it is you're currently seeing. How bad is the situation?
No, thanks first for having me. I think if we talk about a foot and mouth situation, we should look at it at two angles. The one is the physical size of the situation at this time. And the other one is the economic situation surrounding it. So if you look at a physical size, currently, I think the biggest problem is in KwaZulu-Natal. Previously this year, they have increased the disease management area, or the DMA, and it's almost 2/3 of the province now, which is a very, very large area. And in that area, there's a large number of farmers as well as animals that is basically, I want to say, under quarantine. The Eastern Cape situation coming from last year is doing really well, and we think that DMA might be resolved within the following months. No new cases have been reported there, and then the newest outbreaks was in Mpumalanga one, and then in Gauteng one, which is luckily at this stage, it also looks like contained areas. There was a positive farm. They immediately quarantined it with a 10-kilometer radius, but it looks like it's under control. So that's the physical part of it. If we look at the economic part, your guess is as good as mine. The problem is, while we know there's a lot of farmers and animals, we cannot quantify them. There's no numbers available. Wow. But what we do know is that the farmers, especially those within the DMA and those in the other provinces that's under quarantine, are basically economically cut off. They cannot sell anything. They cannot move any animals. Wow. And that's where the real concern is.
This is of absolutely massive concern, but I wanted to ask if you could please help me understand this a little bit and just re-educate us, if you will, please. Foot and mouth affects which areas? Can it be ultimately culled, or would you have to cull the animal? Is there a vaccine perhaps for it? Can it even be removed perhaps as well from livestock?
Okay, yeah, that's a lot of questions, but let me give you a little bit of background. So foot and mouth disease, I want to say, almost occurs worldwide. There's a lot of countries that has been declared foot and mouth free because there wasn't cases in many years. And South Africa was also, apart from the red zone, that is the zone, I want to say, neighboring the Kruger National Park, where constant surveillance and vaccination took place. The rest of the country previously was also FMD free. I think what's very important is that you get different strains of FMD. So the strains that you typically get in the northern hemisphere are deadly. Cattle, etc., dies from it, and so it's a deadly strain. The strains that we get in South Africa and our neighboring countries, SAT1, SAT2, and SAT3, are not deadly strains. So animals get sick, they develop some lesions in their mouth, on their feet, but then they basically heal again. It's a virus, and although humans can transfer it to other animals, it cannot make a human sick. It basically do nothing to you. In South Africa, this is a government-controlled disease. So what that means is that farmers, private industry, etc., may not do anything unless government decide that they will do so. Wow. So there is a vaccine available. But we only vaccinate, or not we, the government only vaccinate farms and in neighboring farms when there was a positive outbreak. The problem is the World Organization of Animal Health basically classify our FMD strains the same as those in the Northern Hemisphere, although ours is not deadly. So if we export meat to a country, they do a test and they get they test positive for FMD. It's basically impossible to show if that positive test is from active virus or from a vaccination against foot-and-mouth disease. And that's why you cannot just vaccinate all the animals and try to eradicate the disease that way, because otherwise it might look as if you are sending positive meat overseas, because the test is only for antibodies. And antibodies can be there from the active virus or from the vaccine.
Okay, so what does this mean for our poultry and our livestock and our meat then, if you'll share, Dr. Maria? Does that mean we're bound to see a situation where we're going to struggle with the availability of meat and livestock for some time?
No, I don't think in this case. I think what's very important, you also now mentioned poultry. Now, foot-and-mouth disease in South Africa is a disease that basically affects cloven-hoofed animals. So it's cattle, sheep, goats, as well as pigs. And then wild animals, buffalo, etc., can also get a disease. But the poultry sector is not part of the foot-and-mouth problem. So in terms of the availability, yes, currently in KwaZulu-Natal, there's a big problem as those animals are basically out of the market. All right, but it is at least the rest of the country still open for slaughter and trade and so on. So the supply from KwaZulu-Natal might limit, or the animals from KwaZulu-Natal that cannot enter the market might limit the supply a little bit at this stage. But on the other hand, we also saw that China have closed its borders. That's a very bad thing, as they take 14% of our exports. So that 14% of the export, that meat is coming back to the local market. So it's not currently a problem, I want to say, for food security, or that meat is now suddenly going to become inexpensive. I think demand and supply balance itself out. The problem is rather with the farmers that cannot sell anything, and basically economically their throats are being cut.
Listen, it's clearly something that needs to be unpacked a whole lot further and understood. And as you said, it's a government-backed sort of disease, or the responsibility of government in many ways. So hopefully government gets on board here. Affected areas, including KwaZulu-Natal, as you made note of, Mpumalanga, Limpopo, even the Eastern Cape here. Very, very significant. Dr. Frikkie Maria, thank you so much for the time. Really appreciate it. That's all the time we have for the conversation, but certainly an important one as we look at our agri-space then in the country.